to start the section 7.9 coordinate vectors. You will, actually this is the section 7.9, and from here, you will see for the concept and the code for the problems and the problems and solutions and how to find the transition matrix P. And this also has the code that gives you the transition matrix by using the Gaussian eliminations. And this is the concept that we're going to learn. Okay, anyway, that was introduced in here, and also there's a previous lectures of mine in these web addresses in Korean. Now, I'm going to cover this section 7.9 in English. Okay, in a finite dimensional vector space, a basis is closely related to a coordinated system. You have learned the standard basis of Rn already, and we have used the coordinate system associated with the standard basis of Rn, E1, E2, En, so far. In this section, we introduce the coordinate system based on non-standard basis, beta. Okay? We also study the relationship between coordinate systems associated to different bases. If alpha is an ordered basis of Rn, this ordered basis is important. Like E1, E2, En, it has the order, the basis. Then any vector x in Rn is uniquely expressed as a linear combination of vectors like this, with this ordered basis. Okay? Those coefficient CIs, we have learned this uniquely expressed already in the earlier section. These CIs are called the coordinates of the vector x relative to basis alpha, when this is alpha. Okay. So now we have a definition on coordinate vectors. If alpha is an ordered basis, and then the x is uniquely expressed as a linear combination of this CIXIs like this, then the vector consists of these coordinates C1, C2, Cn is called the coordinate vector of x. So those CIs are coordinates of x, and this vector consists of CIs is the coordinate vector of x relative to the ordered basis alpha. So we write it as x sub alpha like this. So this vector is this. So this vector means this vector. Okay? This coordinate vector is a vector consists of those coordinates in the linear combination 1. Okay? So whenever you have a basis and a vector, then vector can be written as a linear combination of those xi's, then those coefficient, those coordinate gives you a coordinate vector of x in the given basis alpha. Okay? So suppose this x is a vector in R3, and you have a standard basis E1, E2, E3. So say it's alpha. Then what is the coordinate vector of x with respect to the standard basis alpha? This E2 minus 3, 5 can be written as a 2 times E1 plus minus 3 times E2 plus 5 times E3. Okay? So the coordinate vector of x with respect to standard basis alpha is 2 minus 3, 5. Clear? Okay? Mr. Jan, clear? So if you have this linear combination with the standard basis alpha, then 2 minus 3, 5 is a coordinate vector of x with the standard basis alpha. But if you have x1, x2, x3 like this, then we know these are linear independent, and so this is another basis. Let's say this alpha, the set of these xi's are alpha, then this is another basis. For the same vector, for the vector x is equal to 1, 2, 3, we want to have a coordinate vector of x with respect to the given basis alpha, like this. How you can find it? You should make a linear combination of these xi's to make the given vector 1, 2, 3, isn't it? So solve this linear system of equation. Okay, so you have to solve this. 1, 2, 3 is same as this. So first component is C1 plus C2 should be 1, and C1 plus C2 plus C3 should be 2, and 0. C2 minus C3 should be 3. So we have a linear system of equation like this. Yeah, you can solve it, isn't it? So you can easily, by hand or by any code that you can use. So from here we can easily find C1, C2, and C3. Okay. So what is the coordinate vector of x with respect to the basis alpha? It's C1, C2, C3 goes as a coordinate. So this is a coordinate vector of the given vector 1, 2, 3 with respect to the basis alpha, which is consists of these xi's. Clear? Okay? Ms. Hassan, you can find it. Okay, you can just let it, and you can solve the linear system of equation, so you can find CI's, so you can form a coordinate vector without any difficulty. All clear? Okay, next. It has, this coordinate vector satisfies these properties. Let alpha be a basis for Rn, then the vectors xy in Rn, and the scalar C with those, the following hold. The coordinate vector of x plus y with respect to with basis alpha is the same as the coordinate vector of x with respect to alpha plus the coordinate vector of y with respect to alpha. And the scalar can come out like this. Okay? If we combining these two, this work for two components. If you do apply this consequently for two n vectors, then we can write it in this way. We can separate this as n terms first, then we can take off the coefficient each time. So all this can be written as like this, like a linear combination. Okay? So it can be split like this for n vectors. This is very important. You're going to use this property over and over again. Next, change of basis. This is also very interesting topics that you should know. Let alpha and betas are two different bases or two different ordered bases, okay, of Rn. Okay. We will think about the relationship between the coordinate vector of x with respect to alpha and coordinate vector of x with respect to the basis beta. What's the relationship? Think about this. We have a same point here. These green points are same point. But if we have what? This basis, the coordinate vector of this point can be written as what? 2 times E1 plus 1 times E2, isn't it? But the same point can be written as 1 times this vector x1 plus 1 times this vector x2. Then that also gives you the 2 and 1, which is the same point, same green point. So coordinate vector of the same point with respect to this basis is not 2, 1. It is 1, 1. So this coordinate vector with respect to alpha and this coordinate vector with respect to beta basis are representing the same point. Clear? Okay. Kim Young-sen? Yeah. Clear? Okay. The coordinate vector of this point with respect to this basis alpha and the coordinate vector of this point with respect to this different basis beta are representing the same point, but the coordinate vector looks different. Okay? So what's the relationship between these two? They are representing the same point, but the representations looks different because the coordinate vector looks different. What's the relationship between them? Here is the explanation. Let X is a linear combination of yi's, which comes from the basis beta. Then coordinate vector of X with respect to beta can be written as C1, C2, and Cn, because those Ci's are coordinate with respect to the basis beta. Okay? So the coordinate vector of X with respect to the basis beta is the Ci's like this. Okay. Next, think about the coordinate vector of X with respect to the basis alpha. Okay? How it should be. Think about it. X, the coordinate vector of X with respect to alpha can be written as this, isn't it? X is a linear combination of Ci's and Xi's like this. Summation. Okay? So this can be splitted like this from the property of coordinate vector. Okay? So now we need to think about each of these. Okay? For arbitrarily arbitrarily one of these, let's say for J, think about the coordinate vector of Yj with respect to alpha. Okay, we can easily find this because alpha is a basis. Alpha is a basis, so Yj can be written as a linear combination of Xi's with uniquely. So we can find the coordinate. So Xj can be written as a linear combination of the vectors in the basis alpha. So from those coordinates, we can form a coordinate vector of Yj with respect to alpha. Let's say that is this, P1j, P2j, and Pnj. Okay? Then with this, so we find these coordinate vectors for j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2, and j is equal to n. Okay? So, and form a matrix P whose columns are each of these Yj, the coordinate vector Yj with respect to alpha. Okay? We can form the first column with the coordinate vector Y1 with respect to alpha, and second column is coordinate vector Y2 with respect to alpha, and last column is a coordinate vector Yn with respect to alpha. 자, 무슨 말인지 이해되죠? Yj가 하나의 벡터잖아, Rn 하나 있는. 알파가 기저죠? Yj가 이 알파, 그 Xi들의 1차 결합으로 표시될 수 있지? 그러면 상수 구할 수 있지, 앞에 코디네이트. 그 코디네이트로 코디네이트 만들 수 있죠. 그것들을 순서대로 Y1에 대한 거, Y2에 대한 거를 컬럼으로 하는 행렬 P를 만들었다는 소리야. You can do it. 단지 연립방 정식을 여러 번 풀어야 되는 것일 뿐이죠. 연립방 정식을 n번 풀어서, 한 번 풀어서 이걸 구하고 두 번, J2, Yj equal 2에 대해서 또 연립방 정식을 풀어서 구하고, 그래서 n개를 풀어서, n번 연립방 정식을 풀어서 만들면 Pij를 다 구할 수 있지. 컬럼들을 다. So you have a matrix P here. Clear? Okay? Then look at that. So X coordinate vector of X with respect to alpha. This can be written as this. So this can be written as this. Okay? Because these are the columns of this. Okay? So that can be written as this. But this also can be written as this. isn't it? This is a matrix P. So this is a coordinate vector of x with respect to the basis beta. So this can be written as P times the coordinate vector of x with respect to beta. So this is a relationship, okay? So the coordinate vector of x with respect to alpha has a relationship with the coordinate vector of x with respect to beta with this matrix P. Okay. So this shows you the relationship between these two coordinate vectors with two different bases. So here, this P also can be written as this identity matrix from beta to alpha. This, because this beta and beta cancelled out, and if we multiply, then I times x is x, and alpha is left. Do you see the relationship? 자, 여기서 요 P를 이렇게 써요. 그러면 만약에 이거 두 개를 합친다 그러면 행렬하고 벡터를 곱하는 거잖아. 그러면 I 곱하기 x 하면 x만 남죠. 그리고 베타가 캔슬돼서 없어지면 알파가 아래로 내려오죠. 그게 x 알파가 됩니다. 그래서 P를 이렇게 써요. We call this identity this matrix P. We call is a transition matrix from beta to alpha. This matrix P is a transition matrix from beta to alpha. Okay, this transformation is called the change of basis. 이게 보면 x가 여기는 베타 기저로 쓰여 있었던 것이고 이건 x가 알파 기저로 쓰여지는 거잖아요. 그러니까 기저가 바뀐 거죠. 그러니까 기저가 바뀌니까 change of basis, 기저를 바뀐 거니까 change of basis라고 그러죠. 기저 변환이. 기저 변환에 따라서 표현이 바뀌어지는 거죠. We call this transformation. 여기다 이걸 P를 곱해서 베타 기저에 대한 표현을 알파 기저에 대한 표현으로 바꾼 거니까. That's called the 기저 변환, change of basis. So this is a linear transformation, and this is a change of basis. Okay? Here is the example. Let alpha is a standard basis in R2. And Y1 and Y2 is given like this. These are linear independent. So this forms another basis. Let's say beta is another ordered basis. So Y1 and Y2. Then find the transition matrix P, which is a transition matrix from beta to alpha. And suppose x, the coordinate vector of x with respect to beta is 2, 3, then find the coordinate vector x alpha. 여러분들 이걸 구하면, 요걸 여기다 곱하면은 요게 구해지는 거죠? 그렇죠? Next. For x, show the equation to hold. 요거에 대해서 각각 이제 p는 구했으니까 요거에 대해서 the coordinate vector of x with respect to alpha and find the coordinate vector of x with respect to beta and multiply the same matrix P, then make sure they are same. So all now have to do is just finding this first. Okay? If you find this, everything follows easily. First, so how you find it? First column of this P is this. This comes from beta to alpha, so at the end it should be with the alpha like this. So the first column is this, and second column is this. How you find it? So Y1 should be written as a standard base, a linear combination with the standard basis. Okay, what is this? Y1 is 1, 2. It's 1 times E1 plus 2 times E2. And what's the Y2? Y2. This minus 1 times E1 plus 1 times E2. Okay? So what's the coordinate vector of Y1 with respect to alpha? That's 1, 2. What's the coordinate vector of Y2 with respect to alpha? It's minus 1 and 1. Isn't it? So this P matrix is what? The first column here, second column here. Okay? Then what is the coordinate vector of X with respect to alpha? That's P times the coordinate vector of x with respect to beta. P is here, and this vector is 2, 3. So just multiply these two, matrix and vector, then we have minus 1 and 7. That's the answer. Okay? Asan? Clear? Okay? Question? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, that's the last theorem of this section. Sure. Inverse matrix will do it. Okay. Okay. That's the next examples and theorems. Okay. Next, part 3. And when x can be written as the linear combination of 3 times e1 plus 9 times e2, and x also is a linear combination of y1 and y2. Okay, you can easily find those. This just is natural, and you have to solve the linear system of equation to find this 4 and 1. Then you have x alpha, the coordinate vector of x with respect to beta here. Then you can easily check. Just if you multiply this 4, 1 to the matrix P, then you have 3 and 9, which is coordinate vector of x with respect to alpha. Okay. So what you did here is what? So you have it easily, and you already have a matrix P. Then how you could find this? How you could find it? You could find this 4 and 1 by just multiply this matrix and the inverse of this matrix. Okay. 그러니까 이거 지금 여러분들은 이걸 구해서 이거 확인되는 걸 확인했죠? 만약에 이거를 구하는 대신에 P도 가지고 있고 이것도 가지고 있잖아요. 3, 9. 그러면 여기다가 요거에 역행렬을 곱해주면 4, 1이 나오는 거 아닌가? Okay? That's what Asan asked. So, if you know this relationship, if you know P and if you know one of these two vectors, then you can easily find the other vector, coordinate vectors. Next, for three vectors in R3, 문 좀 닫아줘요. Closed. If you have three linear independent vectors in R3 and another three set of vectors in R3, linear independent vectors, then this form a basis and this form a basis. So let's say alpha is a set of three linear independent vectors xi's, and beta be a set of linear independent vectors yi's. Okay? Then find the base. So they both form a basis. Find the transition matrix P from beta to alpha. How? How? From the definition, all you have to do is find the first column vector and second column vector and third column vector, isn't it? Okay, so y1 should be written as a linear combination of xi's, and y2 should be written as a linear combination of xi's, and y3 should be written as a linear combination of xi's. You have to solve this linear system of equation to find the first column, second column, and third column, isn't it? So this gives you the A1, A2, A3 gives you a first column, B1, B2, B3 gives a second column, C1, C2, C3 gives you a third column. That's it. All you have to do is solve the linear system of three linear system of equations. Okay? So how are you going to solve it? From here, this A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, and C1, this matrix A is here. Without this, you can find the A1, A2, A3 by just solving this. You can find the B1, B2, B3 by solving A and Y2, the conjugate matrix, the augmented matrix. And with this A and Y3, you can find the C1 and C2 and C3. Okay? So you have to solve three linear system of equations. But what you did was just doing the linear, the RREF, the same RREF. So just solve all those at once. Just form a matrix A and the Y1 and Y2 and Y3 as the three augmented columns here. So you form another matrix. 이건 A가 아니라 이걸 바꿔줘야겠네. 이게 A였으니까 이건 뭐 A 프라임이라든지. You should be A prime. Then you have this A prime, the augmented matrix. Then you can find the RREF of this, isn't it? Then this gives you the first column, second column, or third column of the matrix P. So this part is actually the transition matrix from beta to alpha, which is this. Clear? Asan, is it clear? Okay. 2강. Clear? Yeah. This is just solving linear system of equation by the Gaussian elimination. So you can find it. So this can be done in here. And so say this is a question that I showed you. Find the transition matrix. If you click it, it will generate a new different problems. If you add the answers, then it gives you, this is not correct answer. The correct answer is to form this matrix and find the RREF of it, and this is the transition matrix. Okay? If you change it, whatever. Okay? This is a concept, and this is the problem, and this is a code. So if you change it, yeah, you can use this code to find your answers. Okay? Okay? You can use this code for anywhere when you have a new different problem. Oh, large size as well. 지금 내가 3x3 줬죠? 이거 뭐 저기 R5에서도 마찬가지로 구할 수 있겠지? 연립방정식만 풀면. 그치? 최희준 그치? 그러니까 지금 이게 우리가 배우긴 지금 3차원, 2차원 정도에서 배웠지만 이거 사이즈만 늘리면은 아무리 큰 거여도 다 구할 수 있지. 코디네이트 벡터가 n차원, 뭐 10차원이건 15차원이건 다 바꿀 수 있지. 오케이. 홈워크에 그런 문제를 해보라는 소리예요. 오케이. So if you copy this, for example, if you copy this and if you go here, say SKK. If you copy this and paste it, then you will find the same answers. So whatever you do, then you can solve it. So from here, if you do it, then for any problem, expand the size of the matrix to find the matrix P. 그러니까 이런 거 문제 풀 때 다른 책에 있는 문제들 있죠? 복잡해 보이는 거. 그런 거 집어넣고 하면 답이 이렇게 안 나오지. 보통 교과서에 있는 답은 딱 정수로 떨어지는 그런 문제들이잖아. 그러니까 그렇게 구해요. 그럼 그 답이 맞는지 확인할 수 있겠죠? 그렇게. Okay. Anyway, next, these are the code to find the solution. Here is the theorem that Asan asked. Suppose alpha and beta are two different ordered bases for Rn, and P be the transition matrix from beta to alpha. Then the P is invertible, and its inverse, P inverse, is the transition matrix from different direction, from alpha to beta, Okay? If P is a transition matrix from beta to alpha, then P inverse is a transition matrix from alpha to beta. P inverse is a transition matrix from alpha to beta. So P and P inverse has a good relationship. So if you have one transition matrix, then you can find the other direction easily. If you can find the inverse. 여러분들 역행렬 구할 줄 알지? 그러니까 언제든지 하나만 구하면 다른 건 구할 수 있는 거지. 그러니까 하나만 알면 다른 건 언제든지 알 수 있는 거지. 그러니까 여러분들이 그동안 하나의 좌표계만 배워왔잖아. 그걸로 충분한 게 트랜지션 매트릭스만 알면 기저가 아무리 바뀌더라도 이걸 아니까 이걸 곱해주기만 하면 이것 또는 이거 인버스를 곱해주기만 하면 마음대로 바꿔 쓸 수 있죠. 그래서 여러분들이 지난 12년 동안 하나의 좌표계에 대해서만 공부해 온 거예요. 이해되죠? 이 트랜지션 매트릭스만 알면 기저가 아무리 다양해도 여러분들은 아무 걱정할 필요가 없기 때문에 12년 동안 하나의 기저를 잘 다루는 것만 배워온 거예요. 이해돼? 김형빈 군? 김형빈 군? 안 왔어? 잘했어. 오늘 날짜가 며칠? 5월 16일? 조정현 군? 없어? 정진우 군? 오케이. 임다은 양? 없어? 박소우 군? 없어? 유상범 군? 오케이. 자, 왜 이해돼? 그러니까 그동안 여러분들이 12년 동안 그냥 RN에서 표준 기저만 갖고 공부해왔죠? 그것만 잘 알면, 지금 트랜지션 매트릭스만 어떻게 구할 줄 알면, 기저가 아무리 바뀌더라도 바로 그 새로운 기저에 대한 좌표 벡터를 구할 수 있지. 그러면 그 왔다 갔다 하면서 어떤 기저도 다에서의 문제도 다 다룰 수 있게 되는 거지. 그렇죠. 그래서 기본이 튼튼한 게 중요하다고 하는 거예요. 그러니까 여러분이 지금까지 배운 걸 잘하는 학생이 앞으로 배울 것도 잘할 수밖에 없는 거야. 왜냐하면 앞으로 배울 것도 다 그것과 똑같은 구조니까. 여러분들이 그 브릿지만 잘 알면. 이해되지? 오케이. Next, example 5. For the two bases alpha and beta for R3, in example 4, compute the following. The transition matrix Q. 그러니까 this Q is what is this? The transition matrix from alpha to beta. So what is this Q? That's the P inverse, isn't it? So since you know P, so all you have to do is find the P inverse. The coordinate vector x beta relative to the basis beta for given this. Since you have this and you have P, so you can easily find this, isn't it? If you 세 개 중에서 두 개 알면 하나는 얼마든지 구할 수 있는 거 아니야? Since you have, so in example 4, you found the matrix P, so P was this. So Q is just P inverse. So P can be found easily. And this also has a relationship like this. Okay? So see, now you have Q and X, coordinate vector of X with respect to alpha, so you can easily find the coordinate vector of X with respect to beta. Clear? This can be done in here. If you multiply, copy this can be done. Copy and go there, edit, and this is what you are looking for. And you have the matrix Q here, which is a P inverse. I think that's the end of chapter 7. Any questions on section 7.9? And the next is the exercise problems here. You already have all the books and files, okay, which has been updated. So, any questions on section chapter 7? You can easily find whether the given vectors are linear independent or not, and many or others as well. Questions?